So welcome, Stéphane. Thank you for joining me on this quick conversation here in support of one of a workshop we're doing, but also for for social media and that type of thing as well. So everybody, welcome to Stephane Compain, the co-founder and CEO of LuxRelo, based out of Luxembourg. I'll let Stephane explain what he does, how they do it, and how the business started. So first up, Stephane, give us a quick overview of LuxRelo. Where did it come from? When did you start? And how's progress coming along?
Hi, David. Thank you for the discussion, the interview.
Yeah.
We started LuxRelo because I lost my job. Didn't really know what to do. Struggled a bit to get interviews and to find a new job. And at one point, I said, "Okay, why don't I set up my own job if I'm not able to find one?"
Yeah.
Never thought to be an entrepreneur. I thought it wasn't for me. Decided to jump in and to launch a business in a field that I love, which is international mobility, relocation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's how it started. Really, we started the business with my wife. We didn't know where we were going to go, but we said, okay, let's go for it. I still had an employment benefit, and I thought, okay, I have time to try at least for a period of time, and we'll put all our energy into this new project. Mm-hmm. And it's how it started.
So when was that? Just for everybody listening, when did you actually make the?
So it was in 2016. So in January 2016, I lost my job.
Yeah.
Used the help of a transition coach to really, have a better idea of where I wanted to go. Mm-hmm. Get rid of all my fears and the maybe some of the bad habits of thinking. And this lady helped me to go through this. And in June, I remember I also had a lot of discussions with people, having lunch, a coffee. At that time, we didn't use a lot Zoom, but it would have been useful. So discussion with people around, where should I go? What should I try? And then I met this guy who said, "Oh, why don't you launch your business?" And it's really, I think, the tipping point where I said, well, why not, Mm-hmm. And so in June, we decided to go for it. Didn't just want to start like that. So we prepared a business plan. I studied the competition, to be sure on that the market was, the market I thought it was. Prepared the marketing, did brainstorming with the family on the name, the logo. Mm-hmm. And officially, we launched the company in September 2016.
Wow!
And so it's how it started, slowly. Even if I knew the business, even if I knew, the clients and so on, it took time because you are a new player on the market. Even if people know you, you're still a new player. So procurement are a bit, insecure about using somebody completely new. So. Yeah, it took us really 1 year to start to have clients. Mm-hmm. On a regular basis. So I think it's something important to keep in mind when you start a business. Be prepared to have some cash on the side. Mm-hmm. To support you for at least 1 year. Because you're not sure that it's not, the business is not going to flow in right away. You need to build, trust with clients. You need to find suppliers and so on, depending in what type of business you are. Mm-hmm. So it's important to have some cash on the side to be sure that you can, pass this 1 year period before getting new customers.
Yeah. So and this is, I think we're talking about sort of entrepreneurship and leadership as well. Part of this is leadership of yourself, isn't it, as well, because you have to lead yourself through this. So the business started, you took this sort of leap of faith, as I think, and many people listening to this have done the same sort of thing, if you like, to understand the journey. At what point then did you get to when you realized for yourself and Sandrine that you needed help and support? You started building team. When did that realization come to you first?
Well, I think I met this lady who was working for one of my competitor, and I had resigned. And I remember she said, "Oh, if you need any help, I would be happy to work for you as a freelance." And at what point we noticed that we were not able to absorb all the work to assist our customers on finding homes and so on. And we talked to this lady saying, would you be happy to work for us, not on a regular basis, because for the moment we don't have enough business, and she was happy just to join the team and to have, some work. And slowly we started to work with her like that. And it just came a bit naturally.
Okay.
Talking about needing help, for me, what was also important is to keep training, to keep learning. So I was going to events. I was going to the American Chamber of Commerce, British Chamber, other events on the that were happening in Luxembourg.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember meeting this guy at one of the British Lambers lunch and saying, "Oh, I'm a coach, and blah blah blah." And he invited me to one of his workshop, and it's how suddenly I discovered that you had other people in the same situation as me, that we were able to learn from each other. Yeah. And I think that after 6 or 7 months, this guy David Holland,
I've heard of him. I've heard of him somewhere. I've heard of him.
Said, "Oh, I have two spot left for next year. If somebody wants to join me." And I think this was one of the best steps we did, is to have somebody external from our company, from our family, from our the people close to us. Yeah. That could pull us back from the day-to-day work. Mm-hmm. And this is it. I think it's really important for us to have somebody that is completely neutral, doesn't work in our business.
Yeah.
And I know that you like to use the co-pilot word, but I think it's really that you are sitting next to us, beating us when we are not working properly, but also guiding us. It's not only for the business, but also personally.
Sure. No, okay, you're very, very kind. I know we know each other really well, and we sort of connected. I remember those workshops when we first sort of got together, and it was, again, and there's a bit of a leap of faith to an extent. And I think you're looking at the way you've grown the business now. You're now building team, and from a leadership perspective, I think it's one of the challenges that people in business face, is that they start the business in sort of technician mode. And this doesn't matter whether you're an accountant or a martial artist or a manufacturer. They stay in technician mode, and breaking out of that and actually letting go of some of the work to somebody else who doesn't do it the same way as they did it, to the same standards, is a big challenge. And I know you've done that.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Yeah, so just talk us through that. How was that process for you stepping out a technician role?
I mean, you always think that you can, because you are in the operations, you are doing the work, and you know how to do it. It's easy because you know how to do it. Yeah. And at one point, you have more and more work, and you are not able to cope with it, because you have only so many hours in the day. And so it's the decision to say, well, we need to bring somebody in. But of course, when you are a small company, when you add a salary, that has a big impact on your P&L. And so you have to be sure that you have enough business to support that. And I remember we had this discussion: if you are able to pay 70% of the salary, then the 30% the person needs to make with extra work, with new clients, whatever.
Yeah.
And so we made the decision. It was in after the summer 2020.
Yeah.
We need to hire someone. So we go on the market, we talk to people, we have interviews, on the traditional way. You interview the person, you ask questions, you ask referrals, and we had good referrals from different people for the person we hired.
Yeah.
And then the person starts, and after 1 week, it doesn't fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't fit our team. We completely messed up the recruitment process, and we don't have the right person.
Yeah.
And after 5 weeks, we have to tell the person that no, it's not going to be possible, and we have to stop because it wasn't matching the way we were thinking, the spirit of the company.
Absolutely.
And it was a big shock, to realize that you've lost time, that you did mistakes, and you don't really know why. And with Sandrine, we sat down and we discussed about it, saying, okay, we hired someone because of experience about with the relocation industry.
Yeah.
But in fact, what we need is somebody that fits into our team spirit.
Absolutely.
The business, we are, of course, if you are hiring in the IT sector or in the accounting sector, people need to know, how to, develop an IT program or to know some accounting. That's important.
Yeah.
But the person needs to fit into the team, which is, I think the number one criteria, especially in a small size company where you only have a certain number of colleagues and you need to be able to work together. And so we started the process again, and suddenly somebody came up to us saying, oh, I know this friend who is in the hospitality industry working for a hotel. And at first I said, well, no, it doesn't have anything to do with the relocation. And then said, well, hospitality industry, customer service. And then we started to interview this guy, and we said, okay, now we need to interview him differently. So we had a number of interviews. We had lunch with him.
Yeah.
So we sat down. Because at one point when you're having lunch with someone, it's difficult to pretend to be somebody else during the whole hour.
Absolutely.
So we bought a salad and ate at the office, and we had informal discussion. And suddenly, you can see who is the real person.
Yeah.
And it's how we decided to hire this guy, and we are really happy that he's with us. And it's the process we have now in recruiting new candidates is having a formal interview, but then ask specific questions, have lunch, have a coffee, so that the barriers just fall down, and they can show the real person.
So that was reasonably recent, and then I know that new recruits started, and then what happened? Because I think this is really interesting. You took the leap of faith that you went on based on values and personality and experience, but not in the relocations business.
Yeah.
And as the business continued to grow, I think it's a fascinating story. Just run through what was the next steps, next stages.
Well, it's we have this guy who is joining us in March at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So suddenly we're hiring someone, and we are hit by the pandemic. People are not allowed to move around the globe. Yeah. And we are saying, wow, what's going to happen to us? Yes. The reality is that it went quite well. Luxembourg didn't close down the borders, and we had more work. And suddenly, end of the summer, we have more work than we can cope with. And we said, okay, we need to hire another person. And but we sat down with David, the guy we had recruited, and said, okay, any idea in our connections, friends, colleagues, ex-colleagues that could fit? And he said, I have a lady that could really fit, but I'm not sure that she wants to move. And so we said, okay, just text her saying, would you be interested to change job? And at first the lady said, no, I don't want to change. And 5 minutes later, what is it about? And then David had lunch with her, explained the job. She said, "Oh, I could be interested." We had a series of interviews, same way, you know, about values, about customer service, and so on. And she was hired in 1 week, and joined the team. And basically at that time, she was hired to do a specific part of the admin in our business. But we realized that when she started 3 months later, she was more needed on another part of the business, which was helping me with the immigration. And I thought, you know, I can handle it. You know, it's easy. It's mostly admin. And then when I realized that, and she started to work with me, and I was able to let go, which is difficult. You know, you think, you know, I handle everything, you know, I manage it, I have my processes, but you know, the work is piling up, and you have more customers, and suddenly, you know, you're starting to make mistakes, and really to have somebody that you can trust and work with on a daily basis is just fantastic. It enables me to step back and to look at the broader picture, to look at, you know, future projects, new hiring, you know, to anticipate, because when you are working on a daily basis in the operation, basically when things happen, you are not ready, because you didn't step back to look at what's going to happen in 6 months' time. And what we've noticed is that with the pace of growth we have, we need to think about the next person we want to hire already when we hire a new person. You know, and we need that to look at 6 months, 1 year time, where we want to be. Do we want to grow or not? Those are, you know, valid questions. Sometimes you just want to stay, you know, a small team, and because that's enough business, or you want to grow and you want to expand, and for that you need to anticipate, to be ready, and to prepare yourself.
And so where is LuxRelo now? We've gone from you and Sandrine, the kitchen table, starting the business out. Just give us a snapshot. Where's LuxRelo now, and where do you think LuxRelo will be in the next 12 months?
So we've just hired a new person who is starting beginning of May. So we are going to be in the team 5, and we are working with two freelancers that help. Basically, it's a buffer. It's people that want to be freelance, that they don't want to work 100%, and that they want the flexibility. And it helps us when we have extra work, you know, to compensate this extra work with using the freelancer. Where we are going, well, you know, we didn't expect to have such a growth at the beginning of the year. So it's a bit of ongoing run, and we need to. So we've just hired this new person, and we are already looking at the next one. So we already have people in the pipeline, interviewing started, and we have to think about the structure of the business as well, where we want to go. So really the idea is to have more people that do the relocation part, and that have a team that is dedicated for the immigration, and with somebody that would be managing the team and enabling Sandrine and I to step back a bit and to look more at strategic things like, you know, developing an IT system, or why not opening a branch somewhere else in Europe.
Absolutely. But I think looking overall, just my sort of observation, I think, is that what you built the business around, I think, using your words as well, you know, spirit, values, customer service, personality, integrity, all these things. And then rather than just hiring people with technical skills, you're hiring, but also attracting. People are seeing this. Clients are coming to you because of that, and the right people are coming to you because of that as well. And that's that real, from a leadership perspective, vision, values, spirit, passion. That's the real essence of it. And just maybe finally, without giving actual numbers away, in terms of business growth this year compared to last year, give us a percentage, roughly how much.
Well, for the first quarter, in terms of business that we won, it's double compared to last year.
So the team growing, but the business has doubled arguably in 12 months. And I think that's a tribute to you guys of passion, standards, integrity, values, and vision. And that's what makes a real difference.
And really, I think what is important is, as the business grows, it's just not, adding staff. You need to add the right staff that will, just enhance the value of the services you are providing. And this is very important. We are really customer focused, and this is key for us. And it's why we are attracting new clients. It's because we are delivering, top class services, and we don't want to hire people just to fill a job. We need to hire the right talent, which of course takes time. And sometimes it's frustrating because it's not going as fast as we want.
Sure.
But it's better to wait a bit and have the right person than hiring someone just like that and make a mistake.
Absolutely. Stephane, thank you. Intriguing as always. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. Anybody listening, watching this, how can people contact you and Sandrine and the team at Stephane at LuxRelo? What's the best way?
The easiest way is to contact me on LinkedIn, Stephane, Stephane.Compain, Compain, and I would be happy to connect.
Fabulous. Stephane, thank you. Always a pleasure. And we'll speak
to you as
we go along. Have a great week, and I'll speak to you real soon. Thanks. Bye for now.